Right, so I just got off the bus and now walking to the H10 Cambrils Playa. So it's quite a big hotel. Let's see what it's all about. So there it is, the H10 group Cambrils Playa. So just one street back from the sea. So great location. Here we are. Ooh, I think it's a 4-star. Huh. Not too shabby. Well, my room's not quite ready yet. I am 2 hours early, so I'm gonna go find somewhere to grab a bite to eat and just chill out for a bit now. Been travelling as well. Got up at 4:45 this morning and I was at the airport for 6, so it's been quite a long day up to now. So I think a nice cold drink, some nice food, and hopefully it's going to ring me before 3. Then I can really chill out. So I actually walked this coastline last year, just from Salou to Cambrils just for the day. So if you watch one of my videos from last year, you'll see that. I didn't have my backpack there because I was just doing a there and back from Salou, because I was there for 2 days. So the reason why I've decided to start from Cambrils and go south is I've already walked up to this point from Salou, and from Tarragona to be fair, so it's just carried on the journey from last year really. I think one thing that becomes quite apparent, especially this time of year, so I'm a month earlier than I was before, is just the extreme blend of, I suppose, old quaint townness, I would say, and then with just the beach life and people just coming to want to get some sun and just chill out. So it's got a contrast of like the traditional Spanish little quaint village with a little harbour, and I suppose some of the Brits coming on holiday just to soak up the sun. But yeah, if I remember rightly, around the corner was a load of trees leaning at a funny angle, and I took some videos last year and I thought they were just amazing, so I need to try and find we'll find that area again, and then I can take a few more photos of that. Because the cooked breakfast I had this morning was rubbish for 15 quid as well. Honestly, it was pathetic. It's all I could get at that time. And also the temperature is currently 24 degrees. That's what I like to see. My jeans on, I am melting. My room's not ready yet, I can't get changed. So yeah, got my got my thick t-shirt on as well, my nighttime t-shirt. So yeah, seems to be a good spot for water sports as well. Quite a few little sailing boats out there and wind sailing, etc. On a glorious day like this, I don't blame them. I think I'll stop at one of these to get a bite to eat. I seem to remember all these were closed last year. Wow, that's a portion. Spanish tapas. Got lots of little amazing beaches in the surrounding area of Cambrils. Fairly peaceful at the moment, but further down the coast the beaches were quite packed earlier. The beach pretty much goes on for miles, linking Cambrils to Salou, and you can see Salou in the distance there. It's a lovely little promenade walk from one town to the other. It takes about an hour or so. You can't quite see them at the moment, but the little green parrots you see everywhere, you can just hear them chirping away there. That's a 19th century watchtower, just standing overlooking the bay. Well, the sea's quite choppy at the moment. The wind's picked up quite a lot in the last hour. Not cold, it's a nice warm wind, but definitely quite breezy. I'm not going to walk all the way along there, I don't want to disturb the fishermen, but it looks interesting out there. These statues, remember these from last year, I think it's some sort of a memorial to fishermen that's been lost at sea, I think I read. But they're quite impressive. So I'm just walking through Cambrils old town now, and it's very quaint, very traditional Spanish. Lots of little bars and tapas, cafes, and just the hustle and bustle of a traditional Spanish village. So this is the 17th century watchtower. That's now, I believe, a museum. Quite impressive, just smack bang there in the middle of the the shops and restaurants. But I'm sure that's seen some history. Well, just sat and had a couple of beers at a nice little traditional Spanish bar, and I got to head a little bit, I think. Must be the sun, blame it on the sun. Well, this is the Hotel Cambrils Playa, and yeah, quite impressed with it actually. It's quite a decent hotel. It's got a nice grand lobby, pool area's nice. I'll tell you about the breakfast very shortly, so I'm about to eat it. Ooh, the breakfast looks good. Quite happy with that. So this is the pool area of the Hotel Cambrils Playa. So it's a nice sort of scenic, spacious, got a couple of different pools. Quite impressed really. Right, so just checked out the hotel and the journey will now begin. So I'm heading south down the coast from where I am here at Cambrils. When I get to the harbour at Cambrils, that's the point that I walked up to last year. So I'm continuing further south. It's about 22k I believe, and there's a resort called Miami Playa about halfway that I'll stop and have a bite to eat. But it's all new territory from the harbour onwards, so that'll be exciting. And it's nice walking temperature at the minute, nice and cool. It's 9 AM, so the sun will get up in a bit and then it'll probably be a bit warm, but right now it's just nice. I'm going to try and get there before 4 because I'll stop a couple of times, take photos and that. So anyway, one thing Spain are very good at, and Cambrils are no exception, is the sheer number of cycle paths and running tracks all around the seafronts and through the towns, etc. It's quite refreshing that. Sea looks quite choppy today. Beach is nice and quiet at the moment, probably won't be later on. I remember last year when I walked this bit, a lot of these hotels were shut down, that was a month later. But yesterday these were heaving, and it's like they're all in breakfast at the moment. And again, all these little bars were closed last year where they were in full swing earlier on. So nice to see the contrast between complete off season and I know we're at the tail end of the main season being 19th of October today. So we've still got a couple of weeks left, I think, what the class of the main season before things shut down. So I think I've come just at the right time. So I've got the app called Commute, which I'm trying. I've not used that before. So I get like a journey free. So I've got it on the background, but according to the map, literally I'm just going to be walking beside the sea without even a slight detour. So I think it probably won't actually get used. It's there in the background anyway in case something looks dodgy, but it looks like I'm just literally walking all the way down, all 20k, right beside the sea like this, which will be amazing. So the overall plan is walking from Cambrils, where I am now, all the way down to Benidorm. I can't do the entire trip in one go, walking that is, because I haven't got enough time. I've got, in 15 days time, I'm meeting some mates there for a chill out in Benidorm. That was the original plan. So me being me thought, oh, you know what, I'll just come out here a couple of weeks early and walk down. But I didn't have enough holiday to be able to, off work that is, to be able to start 4 days earlier, which I would have needed to have completed it all. Otherwise I'd be walking a ridiculous amount each day, but there wouldn't have been necessarily a town or city or village or something where I could stop off at. It might be middle of national park, etc. So basically I'm just walking probably 4/5 of it. I'm walking all the way to Valencia, 100%. I haven't planned from that point onwards yet. So I've got hotels booked along the route now, which is between 15 and 30k stages, depending on what's where. I've got to the few national parks I've got to walk through, where that'll be full day walking to see anything, so that's got to be a stage. I could have probably got there in the time an absolute push if the towns or villages or seaside resorts would have been evenly spread out, but they just weren't. To find accommodation, etc., I've had to create stages, which meant I needed more than the 15 days, if that makes sense. But it's fine because I'm going to skip probably some of the more boring. I say that they probably won't be boring, they'll probably be nice and I'll miss them, but what I think I'll probably do is next time I do something like this near Benidorm, I'll probably start walking from where I get public transport. But the bit I do want to visit is a bit near Benidorm, some of the resorts there that I've not been to, so we'll see what happens. I might be dead by Valencia. Legs might fall off. But it's all good anyway. So just approaching the harbour now. The hotel I was staying at was on the Salou side of Cambrils, so I've had to walk into Cambrils itself to then carry on walking south. I didn't realise the hotel was out as much as it was, but it made sure I think I walked about 15k yesterday to say that was my relaxing day after getting off the plane before I started my walk. I was back with the hotel, room wasn't ready, so I was 2 hours early, so I thought I'll walk into Cambrils for a bite to eat, I was hungry, which I did. So that was about probably 2k each way. And then decided obviously get ready, have a stroll into Cambrils and do a bit of filming around there, which I did, and then came back and just I think all the wandering around in between. It was quite a decent walking day in the end yesterday, which was probably good because it's warmed my legs up for today. But it's just nice and cool at the moment. I just hope it stays like this, which I know it won't. It was 24 degrees yesterday, and when I landed it was sweltering. It was a hot 24 degrees, no breeze, and the sun was sort of scorching, and I was there in my jeans and fleece top melting because I couldn't quite get it in my pack at the time. But yeah, the other issue I've got is my pack is quite full this time. It's no heavier than before, but last year I didn't bring a spare pair of trainers, which was a mistake because on a night I didn't want to put my walking trainers on to chill out, because obviously they're not quite as loose fitting as a sort of relaxing pair. So my feet needed a rest on the night, which they didn't get. So this year I managed to squish them in, but it just means putting everything in my pack this morning was an absolute challenge. So it's bulging. I need to look if I can rearrange it for tomorrow, but the weight's alright, it's not too bad. So just arriving at the harbour now, so at the end of the harbour this is where there's new territory for me. So about another 2 or 3 minutes and I'll be into the unknown. Right, so these figures here, which is a tribute to the people lost at sea, just like a fisherman's tribute I think. This marks my starting point of the journey south that I've not travelled before, so here it is. See what we can find. So just leaving the centre now of Cambrils, coming out onto what looks like a promenade. How long that goes on for. See, it looks a bit choppy. There we go, there's a Cambrils sign. Tend to find most Spanish seaside resorts, definitely on the east coast at least, have one of these. Quite brilliant. un gâteau. Voilà, un gâteau. Love walking down these little tree-lined promenades. Done quite a lot in Spain. Harbour up there. Wonder where that is. I'll have a look at the map. I'm normally more prepared, but I'm not quite sure what's between here and Miami Playa before I get to Hospitalet del Sant. I will say that right at some point. Popped out to another little beach, and boardwalk going around. Looks a bit more residential this side, saying that there's a few hotels there, but don't look as polished as the other side, I'd say. Playa del Horta de Santa Maria. Well, I've been walking for about an hour or so now. The sun's just come up and it's getting warm. Luckily with walking south, the sun is sort of just behind me at the moment. So it's not in my face or anything like that, so that's good. The next place of note is Oasis Mar I'll be coming to. Not sure what's there. It might be a tiny little village or seaside town, or it might just be residential, who knows, we'll find out soon. It's been a nice little walk up to now, all being on either boardwalk or paved promenade. Just lots of tree-lined avenues. That's really nice. It's really relaxing, which is what I need right now. I just had a nice cold drink at that bar there. Just, lovely on the seafront. Feel a bit more refreshed now. Cooled down a bit. Just got to get back into the swing of doing these long walks. So it's been nearly a year ago since I did this, and day one just getting back in the routine. So lovely little seafront bars, restaurants. Some of these look a bit shut down though for the winter. Yeah, I think you can see resorts starting to close down. Probably some of the larger spots remaining open, some of the smaller ones closing down a bit earlier, I guess. Still loads of people around there. Mainly locals, I think. There's a few English and German voices. Looks like it turned into the coastal trail now. This is nice. I get wet feet here though. There's a little ridge there I can get across. This is the official Camut route anyway, I just double checked that, because when I tried following the coast on a section last year I got into bother a little bit because it was completely shut off and I had to almost scale well, the fence jutted out into the rocks to avoid walking an hour back, so I'm checking the app this time. The app said I'm slightly off trail, so I think here it is. Yeah, might be a bit easy to walk on this, but don't mind a bit of beach walking as long as it's not for long sections. Somebody's definitely wild camping there. Right, here we go. Bit more like it. So yeah, so I can say the Camut app definitely is good because it could tell when I was just literally probably three meters off the trail. Okay, I'm saying that I've come to a dead end now. Right, no, okay. Maybe, oh, here it is. Need to go through here. Back on the beach. And get on the stones, I can walk a bit faster on the stones. Walking on soft sand, like walking in water. Well, we're just going sort of around this beach. Not sure how long I'll be on the beach for, but it's nice to hear the waves crashing at the side. I think over there looks like I might rejoin some sort of pathway. Jump back on the rocks. I think I can get on a trail up there, can I? Let's have a look. Did it go anywhere? That just takes me back to where I was going to be anyway. Like I'm up and around the rocks. Better put the camera down. Whoa! You got wet feet then? We're up and over. Right, here we go. pathway now. Oops, looks like the promenade's fallen away there. At least we got this one. Yeah, there it is, all collapsed into the sea. Don't know how recent that's happened. Fairly recently, I think, there. Well, we've got to the end of the road here, literally. I have to improvise from now on. Right, trying to work out where the path's going here. I think it's on the beach again. Must be across us? No. Right, straightforward. Right, over the way through here. I don't fancy scrambling those rocks. That gate. One, well, it's not even a trail. It's, well, it's a bit of a trail, but very overgrown. Going to the map, comes out with the road, but I can see houses there, so I hope it's not some back garden. Can't really tell, we'll find out. Looks a bit overgrown there. Oh, I'm not getting through that. Looks like I'm going back around. Frustrating. I can see a vehicle ahead, so that should mean there's a road there, or access to one. That'll do for me. Once I get on that road, I can get around that dodgy section where I just cannot pass. It could be because of whatever damage the storm's done. Maybe it was passable, but now it's not, I don't know, but could not have got around there. The waves were coming all the way onto the rocks, and it weren't like a few hundred yards, it was a long section. Right. Right, well, I've got on the main road now from being down there on the beach, so I need to just get around this section here. So I think I join the main road, go across for, I don't know, probably 500 metres, something like that, kilometre, and then it looks like I hit the edge of another sort of seafront area, village, town, something, or other harbour, I don't know, where I imagine there'll be some sort of pathway or boardwalk or something. So a slight little detour that weren't expected, but these things happen when you're sort of walking down a coastline. Nice walking beside these olive groves. As you can see, there's a big one here. They're all over in Spain, obviously, but I like the shape of the olive tree. Don't think I'd be able to grow one in the UK. Definitely not warm enough. Well, the main road I'm on's more like a bike track, to be fair, so at least it's nice to walk along, again with all the olive trees on the left hand side. Nice to see a little bit of rural Spain as well, even though I'm only a stone's throw from the sea. It's getting warm now. Looks like we're coming to some sort of main road now. I think I'll be probably turning left onto the coast, let's hope. Well, I'll head that way anyway. Right, Google Maps is taking me well away from the coast on the main road. I'm going to head towards the coast and see if the route the commute is suggesting is actually passable. So we'll soon find out. That's all part of the adventure, not knowing where you're going and where you're going to end up and when you have to go back. We're coming in some sort of resort though here. I've just seen one of those resort signs. Oasis Mar. Oh, that should be alright. Hopefully should be some promenade here or something, unless it's purely residential. Which, to be fair, it looks like it might be. Oh, it's camping and caravanning actually. Right, well, heading just towards the coast again. The dry riverbed to my left there. And let's hope that there is some sort of trail that I can continue along the coast with. I don't fancy walking the main motorway. Pretty sure there will be. Like I say, I'm just not fully trusting of the Komoot app yet, even though the reviews are great. I've only been using it a couple of hours and it's already got me into trouble, so we'll see. See if it can redeem itself. Well, we're sort of walking on the edge of like a residential area, and that looks like some sort of promenade. Let's hope it is. I'll try to get one over in the meantime. Better jump on the path. Let's just hope I can actually get some sort of distance along the front. Looks like we're beach walking again, so the Google Maps has taken me all the way back where I've come from, and the Komoot app's taking me along here, so it looks like it's just all beach, so I don't see any rocky jutty out bits that won't be navigatable. So let's see what happens. Anyway, here we go. Looks like I can get around that rocky bit by that little walk there, so that was the only bit that looked sketchy, so I didn't want to go for a swim. I don't know if that's my destination there in the distance. You can just make it out. Just sort of across there, that could be Hospitalet in Sant, or that might be Miami Playa, I'm not sure. Not too shabby a view if you live there. I'd have a bit of that. Oh, got a bit wet then. I'm just going to keep going as far as I can along this bit of coastline and hope I can just keep getting through. Going back to Pebble Beach now. There's other people here, so there must be a route. Got a bit of road now. Got a nice touring park here, literally right on the beach. Can't get much closer than that. I can see that resort getting closer and closer, so it'll be a nice ice cold drink time when I get there. There's been just enough cloud, just a thin layer of cloud that's just taken the sting of the sun off, so it's been a nice cool breeze. Warm but not unbearable at the moment. So when I first set off and the sun came up, it was quite warm, but it's just nice now, and that breeze just makes it a pleasant walk. Gone through 2 litres of water already. I've got about another litre, so I'll stock up when I get there and get a nice cold drink as well. Right, well yet again, the app told me that I'm going around there, and there's no way that's happening. So, I mean, yeah, so if you're using the Commute app, be wary. I've had twice in probably less than 2 miles it's taking me somewhere that blatantly is not passable. You know, that's all bordered out, fenced off for a reason. So, I don't know how I expect you to go around there. I mean, some adventurers might, but not your casual hiker walker, I don't think, so. I'm going to go and have a look and see what it looks like around that corner in case I can somehow get across. Save me having to do a detour, but there are footprints around here, but the falling rocks are wet, so looks like I'm going to get wet if I do. I might go for it. Yeah, what the worst can happen. I'll give it a try. Whoop. These railings are all loose, so I've got to get hold of there. Nearly got wet. Right. Okay, that got me. Ugh. Right. Trying not to break my neck here while filming and dodging the waves. I just hope I don't get to a section that gets worse. And I think the back wall's dry anyway, so I think if I get wet it'll be my feet. Oop. Okay, I guess it is passable. Okay, you got me. Right, this is a dodgy one. Hang on. Ooh. We've got a flatbed stand on there. It nearly went, but didn't. Oh. Oh gosh. I'm just going to put the camera down for a bit now. Right, well we're getting, ooh, that's a big wave. That's right. So, beach there. So near the end. Guess that's what adventure's all about. Taking chances and risks, calculated risk, because I felt it was passable, and it is. Obviously the Komoot app has got a higher level of adventure, and I thought, well, they're definitely than the Google Maps app. That's very cautious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use both. I'm going to use the Komoot app. If something gets way too sketchy, I'll revert to Google Maps and so on. I think that's the best way. Right, let me get on this wall. Those rocks are a bit uneven there. I know when they say on apps sure-footedness required, I know what they mean. You got to watch every step here, because every single one could be dodgy. Nothing's flat, it's just natural rock. And any sort of fall here, you're going to probably break something. Right, I'm going to put the camera down now because I need to hand. Right, on the beach now. Oh, ready for a cold drink. My water's about as warm as the temperature outside. Right, we've come to a little dodgy section, but I think I can get round. Looks like something's happened recently here. Anyway, looks passable. Just going to put the camera down again. More rocky path walking, but this doesn't look as bad. A bit flatter, less chance of getting hit by waves. So I'm just continuing along this little coastal trail, run beside the beach, quite nice. Hope it goes on for some time. Right, back on the beach now. Beach looks quite packed ahead. We're quite a long stretch here of beach walking, which is quite heavy going on the feet or on the legs. So it's a lot harder to get the distance in on beach, on sand. But it is pleasant, just hard going, especially on quite soft sand which is sink. I've just took a slight detour through a touring park just because the beach seems to stop, so should be able to jump back on shortly. Don't know if I'm supposed to be in here, but we're walking back. Right, just gonna try and jump back on the beach and see if I can continue where I left off. Looked like it was a little river estuary, that's why the trail stopped. So let's see what happens down here. Right, so I'm just jumping back on the road now. Not sure how much further there was to walk on the beach, but it was very hard going, so I'm going to do a bit of path walking for half an hour. Need to get some distance then. Google Maps says I'm 90 minutes away from my destination, so that's not too bad, but it's taken longer than I planned. I have stopped a couple of times though for drinks. But anyway, we're going to do a bit of path walking now. Just walking along to join the main road now for a bit. So just entering Miami Playa now, so I'm going to jump back towards the seafront and see if there's any sort of promenade or anything like that. Say walking beside the motorway, which I'm not a fan of, but we'll see what happens down here. See where this goes. It's just beach. But yeah, it's just down at the beach. I'm going to walk along this path here, I think, because like I said, I don't fancy doing any more beach walking at the moment. My legs are quite tired now. First day walking, that was it's quite a lengthy day anyway, but that beach walking just makes it doubly difficult, so I think I'm ready for a lie down now. Done about 30,000 steps already. I'm just walking through residential areas now, I think probably for the next half an hour. Slightly slower route than the motorway, but didn't want to do the motorway, and this should take me next to the sea on some sections. See what happens. I've got a nice little pedestrian walkway now. Quite pleasant. Could do with a sit down though, I'm not going to lie. I haven't found a cafe for ages. Been looking for one for half an hour and I've not come across one yet. Fingers crossed there'll be one down here. Oh, there we go. Perfecto. Well, that was the most amazing burger and rustic fries. Tell you what, the Spaniards know how to cook the food. You don't get burgers like that back home. It was a real chunky, juicy beef burger with egg, bacon, cheese, and the best little rustic fries I've ever had, like little potatoes. Wow. Anyway, that's my meal for the day over with. Just have a little nibble on something later on tonight, but that'll do me till tomorrow now. It's a great view from up here. I'm glad I took this little route. Great sea views. Love these little seats. Actually made of stone. I love these little promenades. They're going round all the bays, like in like loads of U's joined together. we've got another few to go and then back on the main road. Yeah, these little promenades and well, I think it's apartments, not hotels, and sort of residential blocks. So this is Miami Playa, which is obviously a very residential area, but I think it's quite upmarket. I mean, the burger I had was amazing, but it cost me €20, so I think they cater for the slightly more well off. It was worth €20, I'll give it that. But I'll see what Hospitalet de Infant is like, because I'm about 45 minutes away from that now, and that's where I'm staying tonight. I think that's a larger resort. That's actually a resort rather than residential. Just keeps going forever. But these houses are worth quite a bit. Each one's got their own little private cove. Well, not private, but it might as well be. We're hooking a left here and then heading slightly more towards the coast. About half an hour out now from the hotel, so the last push. So this must be Miami Beach itself. That's very impressive. I think this is the road that just then takes me into Hospitalet de Infant. I'll get it right one day. Right, we'll come back on the promenade now. And here it is, Miami Playa. Miami Beach. Yeah, all along here seems to be sort of residential. Can't see much in the way of sort of like general tourist attractions or anything like that. So I think this whole area is sort of traditional residential Spain. A bit like last year when I was walking through Canet and places like that, they were just purely residential areas. Still nice to pass through though. You can see some sort of harbour just there. Ten minutes away from the hotel, so this must be Hospitalet del Infant. That must be the harbour of that resort. Just see over there. Oh, tell you what, my legs are beat. It's got so warm now, I'm just melting. I've gone through about 3 litres of water. Luckily that restaurant saw me nice 2 litre ice cold bottle. Drunk most of that already. It's the only thing we're walking in the red hot sun. Got mountains there in the background. I think that's one of the national parks that I keep reading about. That's my hotel for the night, Hotel Sancho. I think I've got a balcony. Not much of a view, but there's a lot of choice here. Not too shabby a view from my balcony. The great little breakfast, continental. Just gonna head down to the port or marina now to have a little look round before I set off on my next leg. So I was so tired when I got in last night, I couldn't bother to go back out to have a look at the harbour, so I thought I'll do it this morning. Anyway, gonna be slightly shorter day in distance, but might be slightly tougher in terrain, so we'll see what happens. Right, so I've just nearly arrived at where I came off to find the hotel, and if I remember rightly, the harbour was sort of right next door, so I'm going to get around this corner, hopefully I should see it. Ah, here we go, that's the harbour or marina. Well, here we are at the marina at Hospitalet de Sant, and I definitely said it right that time. I'd say it looks more like a pleasure boat marina. I think there's a few fishing boats there, but I see a lot of yachts and speedboats and things like that, so I don't think it's so much a working harbour. I think there's elements of that, but I think there looks like there's maybe some fishing boats over there, but they all look like quite luxury yachts at the back there. So I'm just heading that way now, down the coast. I wasn't planning on doing any mountain climbing or anything like that, but this route I'm following for now seems to suggest that I might have to, so we'll see. I hope it's not them things in front of us. Oh well, I'll just basically head around the coast, so we'll see what happens. Like I say, I've got my I'm using the Camus app at the moment in the offline version to save battery. I'm using it on my spare phone, which I use for the drone, so that I've got enough battery on the other one in case I need to go live. Like I say, I probably will need the Google map to get me out of trouble at some point, like I had to yesterday, but I will see. All part of the adventure. So just heading across the promenade that takes you out of the resort, and going to be heading down the coast. I say it's a scorching morning. The weather app seemed to suggest it was going to be about 14 till about 11 o'clock, then go up to 20 through to 26 between 12 and 3. Feels like 26 now, and it's 10 in the morning, so I've got plenty of water with me because I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of option along this route, so I've probably overstocked on water, but like I say, it's red hot, so I don't want to get caught out, so I'm going to carry it in a carrier bag because it won't all fit in my pack obviously, so makes filming slightly more difficult, but here's what it is. So there we have it, the old famous name sign that you get in all these little seaside towns, El Hospitalet de Infant. it's a mouthful. But basically I think it was a 13th century hospital or something that people used to pass through and visit years and years and years ago. That's where it's got its name from. But yeah, so I'm heading somewhere near those mountainy, cliffy type things. Hopefully not up them. I imagine I'll have to probably skirt around the edge, but we'll see. It says I've got an early climb, so I don't know where I'm climbing, but I don't think it's too high. 500 metres, 300 metres, something like that. Enough, but not ridiculous. Yeah, so it's promenade for quite, well, just to the tree line there, and then see what happens. I imagine I'm having to go over them hills. Did say there's a bit of up and over, so I can get round them, which I doubt. We'll see. Well, it looks like this is where the concrete ends for a while. I think we'll be just now on trails. Probably for quite a bit, I would have thought. The mountains look nice. So we've got a little section of the protected sand dune that they've all cordoned off, so looks like there's some birds and stuff hanging around in here. Can't see any, but pretty sure they're there. Some cracking views from those villas. These flies are doing my head and they keep landing on me. Got a bit loads yesterday. I don't remember getting bit last year that much. Must be the time of year, I don't know. Well, flies can do one. So this trail just seems to continue for quite a while, which is good. Nice easy walking. Called the Blue Trail. Still got all these sand dunes to my left and the sea right next to them. It's there's a little bit of a nice breeze. It's not too strong. It's just enough to cool you down, which is nice because that sun's quite warm. It's only going to get warmer as it gets later on in the day. But yeah, it looks like it's flat for quite a while, so looks like we're approaching some sort of caravan site there, touring site. They've got some great views as well. Well, that Spaniard I just passed, walking in his shirt and jeans, and I'm like, I'm melting here in shorts and a t-shirt, so obviously they must be used to the weather, but to me that's crazy. Get your shorts on. I just following this little coastal trail, walking past the touring site with the best views on planet Earth probably. Just keep going on this path I think for a while. Right, I'm on the hiking path now, which just basically sand and rocks and beach. Makes me laugh how they call it a path, but it's a route I guess. So I'll be a bit slow going on this, but I'm not planning to walk on the beach for a long time because it's very, very hard going. Let's get down the beach now actually. And it was quite soft sand actually. Right, let me get back where I was. That's a bit better here. It's hard going. That's what tires you out. Well, that was a wrong turn. I should be going just above me, which I'm coming back on, but yeah, I stumbled across a nudist beach that obviously I thought was on the main trail, and it's not, so we'll probably all wonder what we're doing. But yeah, I can see the trail above me now, so to be fair, if I'd been looking at the actual app I wouldn't have missed it, but I was just walking, so it's fine now. I know where I'm going. All's good. Right, so this is the correct route. So at least I don't have to do any beach walking. As you can probably tell, I'm not a fan of beach walking. I just find you don't get very far and it takes it out of you. And I'm not that much of a experienced hiker to be doing that. Oh. Much prefer to walk up a hill than along a beach. Or neither and stay on the flat. Oh, let's have a look at this. Yep. There we go. And that's a nudist beach. Well, some sort of little clock tower or watch out up there. Cool. Ah, this is a great little trail. Absolutely fantastic views to my left. And woodland to my right. And the terrain's pretty good. Nice and easy to walk on. Got to watch your footing a bit though, obviously, but apart from that, nice and easy. Well, the route has just taken me away from the coastline and it's taking me now inland. I think I'm going through the centre of this, whatever it is, national park or something. So must not be a route around the coast, because this is the official hiking route. So just joining the GR92. I mean, I may have been on it already, I don't know, but this is definitely the GR92 because the apps just told me. I think that must go come from a slightly different way to where I've been. So some lovely scenery up here. We're not too high up, a couple hundred metres above sea level, I think. Don't think I get much higher than this, to be fair, according to the app, so that's good. My fitness ain't quite what it needs to be doing up and down hills, and this is only day 2, so I'd need to train for that, and I haven't trained for this trip apart from sort of a 10k walk once a week for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks. Do a little bit of walking here and there, but I've been so busy with work I've just not done much since August. And it's now late October, so when I decided I was doing this, I only had 3 weeks to sort of get a few walks in. So like I said, my fitness, it's alright, but you know, I think 25k per day is my absolute limit at the moment. And tomorrow I am going to have to improvise a bit, because to get to where I want to go to and do some exploring in the Deltebre sort of national park area, which is like a wetland, like a low-lying wetland, just to get to my hotel alone, 35k, plus then walking around, so I'd never do that. So that was a section where I thought I'll have to use part public transport, and I'm going to get a train from near where I'm staying tonight to the closest station to where I'm going tomorrow, which is about still a 12k walk, but then I can dump my pack and explore on foot and just take a few bits and bobs. The I don't know what they call it, it's like a sandbar that sticks out into the ocean. Looks amazing. So oh, gunshots, fantastic. They're shooting at me. Taking a slight detour off the GR92 trail. I'm just going to pick up the motorway because there's one hell of a lot of gunshots going on up there. Probably heard a few, well there's been loads since then. So Don't fancy walking right in the middle of that. I'm sure they're only hunting or something, but sounded quite close. So I'll do a section of road. I'll still get the same view, it'll just be easier terrain. So that'll do for me. I think what I'll do is I'll pick that trail back up after the power plant, because you have to, the trail goes via the main road anyway. So that's about a third of the way between here and where I'm going. So I'll get a bit of distance in now, and then when I get a bit closer to my destination I can re-pick the trail back up. Took a wrong turn as well down there. Ended up walking all the way down to come all the way back because I weren't watching the app. My own fault again. I get carried away. That's actually the radar station, so it looks like I can't sneak up on the next resort, can I? They're gonna know I'm coming. To be fair, I'm quite enjoying this, even though I don't normally like walking beside sort of motorways. But it's just lovely scenery and nice and easy to walk on, so I'm glad we've done this actually, rather than sticking to the actual trail. I'll pick that up a bit further along on the journey, but for now I'm enjoying this.
Slight right to stay on N314.
Well, when since I've got on this route, it's been a gradual but constant incline. For been on it at least a kilometre now, probably more, and I'm hoping I'm going to be rewarded with some fantastic views when I get maybe around the other corner, because like I say, we just keep going up and up, so let's hope. Right, so just come to this little road here that links back up with where I want to be, so let's go and have a look. Going up again. I ain't got down yet, a lot are up, so I hope there's some, must be plenty of down later on. Oh, wildfires, fantastic. I'm just following this little road that runs parallel to the hiking trail. Looks like it goes the same direction, so that was just had to do a 400 metre intense climb up that road. It was, when gradually it was steep, so we must be quite high up here. But I thought I'm going to stay on the paved pathway for a while, and then at the end of this road it joins up with the trail anyway, so oh, that's the power plant, I assume. Is it? If that's a nuclear one or not, but that's some sort of power plant. But it seems to suggest the power plant was near the coast, because the route comes inland because of it, so maybe that's not it. No, I don't think it is. Oh, I've just seen a glimpse on the corner of something that looks like it might be fantastic scenery. It's opening out, oh yes. This is looking good. Should be able to get my bearings a bit now. God, I am high up. And I've been walking, well, elevating for a few kilometres now, but wow, there we go. Quite glad I took this path. I'll try not to get run over while I'm going to check it out. Oh, wow. I'm going to get better views than that. Oh, there we go, that's a nuclear power plant. So we have to navigate around that. You can't walk the coastal side. Imagine they use the seawater for cooling and all that malarkey, so you got to sort of walk around it. But yeah, I think that's, well, that little town I can see just beyond it looks like a good spot for a spot of lunch. Watch out for cars around here, because there's not a lot of space for pedestrians and vehicles. I always like to walk on the side facing the oncoming traffic, then at least I can see what's in front of me rather than relying on the ones behind seeing me. So I don't have eyes in the back of my head. I can tuck in to the edge here. And I think this is where we hook up with the trail. Wow, that was a big cricket, or I don't know what it was, huge. Right, so that's why I heard the shooting earlier. You can't pass here between 1st October and 30th of November between 8 AM and 1 PM. And it's now 12 PM. Oh great, so I either risk being shot, head back down the road, which to be fair probably won't be a bad shout actually, because it's all downhill. And I need to navigate the power plant, which is that direction anyway. So I'd originally said if I get round the, once I get around the power plant, then I can rejoin the route, and that'll be after 1 o'clock, so I won't die. So I think that looks like what I'm doing. So I'm going to retrace my steps all the way down that hill, rejoin the road, and then make my way walking the edge of the motorway again. But at least I've come up here and seen this, so I'm quite happy. Yeah, so quite a lot of detours up to now. Obviously the Komoot app didn't tell me about the 8 AM to 1 PM don't walk this way because you might get shot malarkey. So obviously I'm glad I came up here to see all that scenery that I would not have seen, so it was like a really top of the world viewpoint. So I'm glad I did it. But I'm just walking all the way back now to where I broke off the main motorway to carry on walking. So plenty of time though, it was a shortish walk today, so even with the detours I should get to where I'm going by 4 o'clock, so that's not bad going, to be fair. I've just crossed the main road from where I went up that hill and left that motorway heading towards another motorway, but it looks like the pathway might sort of go beside the road, as in a proper pathway, rather than me walking down the well, down the hard shoulder basically, next to the crash barriers, which is always a bit dicey. So I'm just following Google Maps now. Abandoned Komoot for the minute, but like I said, Komoot wants to get me shot and Google doesn't. So using the two together is fine, because I'll pause one, revert to the other, and vice versa, sort of just navigating the rough direction that I want to go in. So when I can see a coastal stretch that looks like nice to walk, I'll flip to the other app, etc. We're walking up the viewpoint, which was just up there. I can see where I'm going. I can see where this road goes, and the snake's behind the power station, the nuclear power station. So, which is where I had to go around that anyway. So even the official trail, I will meet up with that behind the power station, and then like I say, I'll probably pick that up and carry on into the next resort on that trail, most likely. We'll see what looks the best route to walk. But like I say, I'm not a fan of walking the sort of like the rocky coastal trail for the sake of it, where I know people hiking the official routes do it because that's the official route. That's not what I'm sort of here to do. I'm just here to walk down the coast, so any means necessary. So I'll be probably jumping on and off that that route here and there, but I'm not like completing the GL92 hiking trail where I've got to stick to that. I just want to walk down the coast because that's what I like to do. Right, let's walk behind the crash barrier, shall we? Let's be responsible. Like I say, it's this road I'm walking beside, but I don't think I need to actually walk on the hard shoulder. I think this road runs beside this path, so we'll see. So I think I'm just linking up to the other motorway now. So two motorways that run sort of parallel, but one goes to the left of the power station and one goes to the right. And I think it's the one to the right. That's the one I'm on, and I think that's the one the trail hooks up to briefly. So, and this is where Google Maps took me, which is a slightly longer route on the map. But it could be that the other way is not passable unless you're a car, I don't know. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I think the route takes me across that bridge and to the other side of the motorway. Just crossing the motorway now, the second one. Just gonna keep going down that road there beside the motorway for a bit. So still on this little gravel road that's running beside the motorway. Coming up to the nuclear power plant now. Just after that I should be able to hook up with the trail, get back to the coast, so probably in about 10 minutes or so, which should be good. So I really need a nice cold drink, and I'm not hungry, but I could nibble on something more for the rest than anything else. One of the things I find when I'll keep going until I find a cafe, whereas like some hikers I guess will just like maybe stop every hour for 10 minutes, whatever. I'll only stop when I've actually got a reason to stop. So I hadn't, apart from 2 minutes sit down on the beach earlier to realise I'd gone the wrong way and to correct my navigation, I've not stopped. Apart from like 20 seconds to gather my breath. So I'm definitely ready for a cafe. That sun is hot. Because I'm high up, I've got no shade. If I walked beside the motorway down there, it's all in the shade, so in a way partially regretting my decision, but at least I've got some good views from up here, so it's all good. I keep seeing loads of flying dinosaurs. I don't know what they are. I thought they were crickets, but I don't think they fly. And lots of caterpillars, brown caterpillars. So right, anyway, I'm just going to go and see where the route meets where I am now, and then I can get back on the trail. So like I say, it's somewhere around here. It's where I've come from, just over there. Power plant still there, and I'm just snaking my way down, I think. We are quite elevated here, so there we go, back down again. It's a very rugged coastline, Spain. I mean, I've walked quite a lot of it. Apart from, you've got the Costa del Sol, which is in comparison relatively flat. You have got some obviously rugged areas, but when I walked the Senda Litoral last year, it was mostly flat, so you can get the miles in quite easily. But with this terrain, you just don't know what you're going to be up against, and obviously you move slower because you're up and down and, you know, climbing up steep hills. And so whereas on the flat I'll walk about 5.5 kilometers an hour, you're probably looking at between 3 and 4 kilometers an hour like this. So you just don't move as fast, so when you're trying to gauge distances it's hard to work out. Like I say, I'm still toying about my route tomorrow because it's 35k, but apparently it's just flat. Now 35k flat is like walking 20 to 25k like this up and down, so I don't know, but I might as well get the train part of the way and then join the route as planned. I'll see. But yeah, looks like we're coming down to sea level now. Looks like I'm going down there and up again. Great. Tempted to just get on the road, but I won't. It's all fenced off anyway, so they definitely don't want you to do that. So very shortly this route and the trail coincide in the next 5 minutes or so, I think, and then I can head back towards the coast because we got round that obstacle, which is the power plant. So these ups and downs are taking out my legs. Literally it's just up down, could do with a bit of flat for a bit. And no sooner did I turn that corner, we're going down again. I think we're going down to go under the motorway now, so hopefully we're going to stay at sea level for a bit. To say this route promised a relatively flat route with hardly any ups and downs, Google's detour has definitely supplied the ups and downs for me. Oh gosh, I think it's probably about 1 PM now. I set off walking at 10, so the whole route was supposed to be 4.5 hours and I've been walking 3, but with all the detours, so I think according to Google I've got 2 hours left. So right, so yeah, looks like we're going underneath the motorway bridge here, which is good, as long as we ain't going back up again. To be fair, it's good fitness. Just like I say, I'm just not quite at that level at the minute for all these ups and downs, but you'd be surprised how fit you get while you're day by day while you're walking. I mean, yesterday my legs were beat when I got in. I thought, I'm going to walk tomorrow, and my legs are fine still at the moment. But my feet yesterday started to die. The last 45 minutes was a slog. My feet were just aching. But I think that was because I was walking on sand for quite a while, which takes it out of you. So I've been on concrete majority of the day, only had that tiny bit on sand, which was my error for going the wrong way. So the ups and downs don't take it out of you that much, to be fair. It's, for me, it's the sand, the beach walking. You just sink, so you're almost marching. But anyway, so it's like I'm just going down here, underneath there, up there, and beside the motorway, so that's not too bad. Just negotiating around this gorge or valley. It looked a bit of a weird section, this, on the map. I wondered what it was, because you have to come all the way away from the from the coast road, and it does a sharp little turn and comes all the way back, and it's obviously this section here. Right, we're nearly back up to the second motorway now. It's quite hard to walk on this, very loose. I'm getting a bit bored of this track now. I want to get back towards the coast, so getting a bit boring now, this. I think soon I've got an option to join up with the, well, this is still the official route, but I can either then carry on the official route towards the coast, which I think I'll do, or I'll see what Google's going to say. See the coastline just to my left there, just can't quite get to it. Right, well, I've abandoned the Google GPS and I'm now on the hiking app. So this Google just takes you literally straight down the motorway to my hotel. The hiking app will take me back to the coast and slightly longer, but obviously more scenic, so that's what we're doing. And I'm hoping I'll find a cafe or something there, because I'm beat. I need half an hour sit down, cold drink and something to eat. I literally haven't stopped all day apart from stopped for about 2 minutes just to sort my pack out, because my jacket had fallen, it was falling off the bike. But I've not took my pack off all day, like actually sat for any length of time. It's just literally been a 30-second pause to catch my breath and that's it. So I really need a good half hour sit down, charge my battery a bit, because I'm down to about 50%, which isn't too bad to be fair, but oh gosh. I've been walking this gravel track what seems like eternity. It must be an hour. It's been going and going along this road now. Looks like I next go under the road and head towards the coast, just along here, so that hopefully should give me some different scenery. I'm sick to death of this road. Boring now. Was bored half an hour ago. Right, here's the tunnel that takes me away from this godforsaken trail. See what's on offer at the other side. Oh, concrete. Woohoo! Oh, a hotel. Hotel might mean a cafe. Well, just stopped for 2 minutes in this tunnel. It's nice and shady and there's a lovely breeze blowing through it. It's nice and cool, just it's red out there, so I'm sort of just having 5, enjoy the breeze, away from the sun, then I'll continue. Well, the 5-minute sit down was about a 2-minute sit down. I'm no good at just sitting, not unless I've, like I say, got a beer or a nice Diet Coke or a burger in front of me. So, sun's just gone behind that cloud though, so that's cooled down a bit, so let's just get moving. Right, we're on one of the local roads now, just crossing the railway line. Well and truly past the power plant now. Heading to the coast now. Oh, so here we are in civilization. Don't know where we are. Ooh, Restaurante La Mesa. Hopefully that's along the route and that's open. Well, I'm going right and the beach is this way, so usually beaches mean food and drink and camping. Now we're back on the trail now, the trail marker just there, the GR92. I can see the sea there, very close now, very close by. I've seen the sea close up for a while, a few hours. Fairly quiet, not sure where I am. Little residential area. Oh, that's a fantastic house. Views like that. Wow. Here we go. Wow. Back beside the sea. Don't know how long this goes on for, but hopefully a while. I see a harbour there. Oh, right. Look at that. Right, I just took a wrong turn and I ended up walking parallel to, which I believe this is the right trail. I don't know. Can I get through? Let's have a look. Not convinced. Maybe I can, yeah. Yeah, I can. So this cuts out. Oh, I think it was some builders and they were renovating a property, and I think access to this was blocked off because I couldn't see how you got on it from the other side.
Take the next left.
So here we are, back on the official GR92, and oh, there we go, the red and white stripe there. Yeah. Oh god, it's rocky. I'm not planning to walk this all of the way. Oh bloody hell! Ah. But this is a shortcut to the harbour. So
Take the next left.
take the next left, into left. Don't get walked very often. Oh god. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, back on the road. Oh, that was all going. Right, well that was a dead end. So I'm just trying to get back to the coast where the port is, or the little harbour, not a port. Oh, see if there's any cafes or anything. Oh, I really need a drink. Got water, but the water is so warm. Need a nice ice cold Pepsi Max or Diet Coke. Yes. Well, I've been walking for 6 hours now and I've just found the mythical restaurant. So here I go. Cold drink and some food. I forgot to say sin verduras. No veg. Well, it was very nice chicken, chips and bread. Got 40 minutes to go. My legs are just seized up after being sat there for half an hour. I needed that. 2 nice ice cold Diet Cokes. Got a nice big cold bottle of water. Ow. I'm just taking the shortest route to the hotel now, which is probably along the main road because my legs are beat. Oh, I need to sit down, properly lay down. But I'm nice and full after that chicken and chips. We're still in the residential area now, and to be fair, between here and the hotel, this is pretty much I think what's here. So there's not really a front you can walk on. You know, if you get down to the front, it's just to get down to the front, you've got to then come back the same way. So I'm trying to get myself in the hotel, have a chill out and get rested up for tomorrow, and go find a supermarket so I can have a nibble in my room later on. I'm still on the edge of the residential area, just walking down this tree lined avenue, about half an hour away from the hotel. I'm literally 2 minutes away from the hotel, just on the next street, and this is purely all residential, so I think it'd be more like a guest house than an actual hotel. It looked nice in the photos. Find out in a couple of minutes. Well, just arrived at This hotel is not even a hotel, it's literally got one room. It's like a house, but I'm in, well, I think I'm in the only room. It's got a round bed. I want to sleep in a round bed. Wow. And then look, got a cracking little terrace. The sea's over there. So, couldn't find it. Well, I was literally stood outside asking the locals where El Barco is. Obviously, it's not really named apart from on the actual plaque, and they didn't know. They were trying to send me 2 kilometres away until I showed them the map, and then they realised it was this. Yeah, my heart sank when I thought I've got to walk 2 more kilometres. I thought, no, I can't do that. But anyway, here we go. Well, this is the view from my balcony. My t-shirt's drying. And that's my room. It's like well, have a look. It's like a private residence, and they're renting a room out, I think. It's like got a private pool. I've got a key to get in and out of there, and I've got a round bed, and it's like literally, I think there might just be one room they rent out, but there's breakfast downstairs, there's water downstairs in the fridge that I can buy for like €2, big bottles. It's like perfect. Look at it. And the shower's amazing. Shower was really nice. So I'm well impressed. Look at that terrace. Wow. So I'm just venturing out to the supermarket to get some nibbles for later. Probably some pasta or something for my tea. I'm not going to a restaurant. I had a nice meal earlier at about 3 o'clock. So, where's the restaurant? Sorry, where's the supermarket? I think that's it over there. Euro Spa, that's it. Now that was a good spa. Got everything I wanted in there.